Private Svatoslav Jurash is a frontline soldier trying to hold the line against the Russians.
As a private, basically, you await your orders.
Jurash is one of tens of thousands of young Ukrainians who've answered the call of duty, but it's not his only duty in Ukraine. At 26, he's also the youngest ever member of his country's parliament.
Went on trying.
With shells exploding around his trench, he's multitasking.
Thank you very much.
Doing international diplomacy, recording a message to a British lawmaker.
We are as thankful as can be for all that you have done for us, and as thankful as we can be.
In between trips to the front, Jurash sat down with Newsy in the capital, Kyiv. Did you have military experience before this?
No. You learn pretty fast when you just survive. When you're fighting for your life, you have no other choice.
What's your function when you're right there in a trench? What are you trying to do?
Well, you patrol, you dig, you shoot, you try and bring wounded away from the front lines. You are there to defend against the Russian onslaught.
Jurash joined a battalion in the early days of the invasion, part of the bloody defense of the capital, and then fought this summer holding the line against the Russian army in the heavily contested eastern Donbass region. Don't you have wartime duties as a member of parliament that you can't fulfill while you're out on the front line?
That's why I'm here now, to fulfill those duties. The fact of the matter is that we have ability to communicate, thanks to Elon Musk as well.
Starlink.
Indeed.
Jurash's break from fighting is no break from the reminders of war, like the air raid sirens that suddenly interrupt us.
The chance of a missile hitting you right here is pretty negligible.
The risk factor is a bit higher on the front line than it is here in Kyiv.
Well, certainly. You hear the shells blow up right by you, and you have no reason to ignore whatever warnings come.
As Ukraine tries to build on the success of its surprise lightning strike in the north, the president, who Jurash helped get elected, warns that the most deadly days of the war may be yet to come. Have you made peace with the very real possibility of dying on the front line?
Every single Ukrainian you'll meet has already taken, one way or the other, great loss. And because of that, your desire to get justice for all of them is bigger than whatever your concern for your own life. And when I'm there, that need to get justice is realized as in no other way. It's justice that we need for all those people who have perished in that struggle for our country's existence.
And you're prepared to die for that?
Well, I don't want to die, but when you join the army, that is a very real possibility.
Very real possibility. Have you had any close calls yourself?
Yes, plenty. You get used to the shelling, you get used to the horror of it pretty quickly. You have no choice but to adjust. Humans are very malleable to whatever horror or joy comes to them. But what sticks out is camaraderie. Before the rotation, 3 days ago, one of my comrades has been hit pretty hard. Shrapnel hit him basically in the leg, torso, arm, and face, and we were essentially carrying him out. It's one of the most honorable things I can imagine doing, is saving a man's life like that.
Thousands of Ukrainian soldiers have already died in the just more than 200 days since Russia invaded Ukraine. You're going to be going back to the front?
Of course. Absolutely. I cannot wait, to be honest with you.
You can't wait?
Because it makes much more sense out there. You feel directly the possibilities of your country beating back the Russians there. Sadly, we don't get to choose the times we live in. We get to choose what we do with the times we live in.
Right now, Jurash's unit is on leave, but he's still on the front lines, delivering supplies to the troops in the south in the fight to take back Kherson. While he would not give specifics, he told Newsy this.
All the news that you've heard from Kharkiv and around the east is just the beginning. There's much more coming from the south.
And Jason, it seems like the Ukrainian government really meant it when they said every able-bodied man needs to join this effort, because there was another high-profile Ukrainian fighting and he was recently killed.
That's right. So many Ukrainians, like Jurash, just 6 months ago, never expected to find themselves on the front lines of a war with Russia. Last night came news that a soloist of the ballet of the National Opera of Ukraine died in battle. His role as a fighter was operating a grenade launcher, Chance.
And it also sounds like Ukraine is trying to get Russian troops which, have decreased morale, it would seem. They want them to stop fighting altogether.
They hope, and this is interesting. Ukraine's military is going after if not the hearts, then the minds of Russian fighters, trying to reason with them that they should give up. Ahead of their advances, Ukraine is launching shells filled with flyers telling them that they're being used, these soldiers, they're being used as cannon fodder. Your life doesn't mean anything to your leaders, and they should surrender. Now, Ukrainian officials are saying they've got more POWs now after this weekend of offensive, that they don't know what to do with all of them. That's not been verified, and we also don't know what impact, if any, of these flyers are having. Chance.
Jason Bellini with us tonight from Kyiv. Thank you.